good, ladies and gentlemen? You know what day it is? You know what time it is? Hey, we got the promos going and we're not gonna stop because we made it to 100 episodes, baby. We have not been canceled. Not from lack of trying, I might add. So, let me introduce you to our next guest. No, I didn't run out of people to talk to. She's probably the best one because she's the latest one. She is the host of her own show, the KNN. In case you don't know what that stands for, let me tell you, people. Kelsey, Nicole, Nelson, what's good?
Thank you so much for having me. Love the intro. Congrats on 100 episodes. That definitely means you're doing something right. I'm excited for 100 more for you, but so excited to be here. So thanks so much for having me.
Well, we're doing something right to coincide with everything else I do that's wrong. But that's not why we're here. We're here to talk about you. We're here to talk about the world of sports and the dumb, stupid things in our lives that make us devote our lives to watching a game.
Yeah, pretty much. Like a lot goes on in the world. I'm happy to break it down with you. A lot's happening in the sports world. I feel like sports are just the gift that keep on giving, especially this week, because we never run out of things to talk about.
And we'll never stop talking about this person until something great happens, probably again. So Odell Beckham has been dealing with a lot of things in the last few months, but specifically this week. He's had more beef with Baker Mayfield. He's had more beef with the Browns organization. Is anybody shocked? And his dad is even beefing with Baker Mayfield. Can you make heads or tails about what's going on right now?
Oh my gosh. Look, it's so much going on with the Cleveland Browns, but I feel like the Cleveland Browns, there's always a storyline with them. Finally, when they get good, then the drama just continues to pour on. And now we have daddy problems going on with the Cleveland Browns. And look, covering the NFL, covering a lot of players, I speak to a lot of NFL dads. Have not had a chance to talk to Odell Beckham Sr., but I've talked to Chase Young's dad, Ezekiel Elliott's dad, like have really good relationships. And let me tell you, when your daddy gets involved, that's because they feel like the son isn't doing enough and they're tired of their son being exploited. And this is why the situation has blown up in Cleveland. So essentially, we see Odell Beckham's dad saying everything that Odell can't say, probably because his agent's like, look, just don't say anything. Let me handle it. Now we've seen 2 days without him practicing. People are like, what in the world? What's going on with the Brownies? Like, what do they do? And finally, this is a year, and I'm someone that's covered the AFC North. When the Browns are competitive in the AFC North, they're doing something. They're looking solid on both sides of the football. But you look at someone like Odell Beckham Jr., and since he's got to the Cleveland Browns, he's kind of been that forgotten child. We just haven't seen the production numbers with the Browns that we saw before when he was in New York, right? And I think people are looking like, hey, like what's wrong with Odell? He still looks like, physique wise, he's a solid receiver, but why aren't him and Baker finding this chemistry? And every quarterback kind of has that bromance with their wide receivers, right? Or their tight ends that they really love to throw through. Like we see Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs, a DMV person, and we see their bromance. And when they click. We can go over to Baltimore if we want to stay in the AFC North, and Lamar Jackson and the relationship that he's had with Mark Andrews. They've been a powerful duo doing wonderful things together. And also now Lamar Jackson and Hollywood Brown starting to connect and open up on those deep plays. So people are saying, hey, Baker Mayfield, you're calling for quarterback respect. You want to get paid and be a top player. So why aren't you able to help a top receiver when the Browns have nothing but weapons around them? When the season started, we looked at that Browns roster on paper and just said, wow, like this isn't fair. Look at this. They look solid, but Odell Beckham's numbers are near the bottom. That's a problem. And you're talking to somebody who's been a top wide receiver for most of his entire career. So essentially, Odell's saying enough is enough, right? It's kind of like when you've been in a relationship for a long time and that last straw is pulled and you're like, look, I've had enough. I want out. And this is essentially what we're seeing in Cleveland. It's just not working. If something's broken, it needs to be fixed. And right now, Cleveland has been broken for Odell. They have quality wide receivers still. They're doing some nice stuff with their tight ends. But I think I think Odell just sees he's not part of that problem. And he's not part of the solution in Cleveland, and that he just wants to find glory again, right? He wants to go back to his heyday numbers and kind of be that guy. Because when we're talking about wide receivers now, top wide receivers in the National Football League, people are saying, yeah, Odell's, he's good. They're not saying great anymore because they just haven't seen enough. And I feel like you can see his dad posted those videos of the misreads between him and his son. And it's like, well, why aren't they clicking? Why aren't they connecting? So daddy's like, son, I've got this. Let me step in and let me try to handle this problem for you. So again, when your parents step in, it's kind of like, when your parents came to school and got in a problem, you're like, oh, mom and dad are here, right? You're like that's when it's serious, all right? Your parents are going to step in when it's serious. And his dad is sick and tired of being sick and tired in Cleveland with the Browns. They don't want here we go Brownies. They want, here we go somewhere else with Odell Beckham right now. So basically there's a lot happening in Cleveland. And I think I'm going to see more people wearing the free OBJ t-shirts.
I literally couldn't sum it up better than that. She hit down every point better than I could ever imagine. As I click on this from two personal levels. One, I am a former receiver myself, so I understand what it's like to not have that connection and not click. And look, receiver is a weird position to be put in because you're the only position that's 100% dependent on someone else.
Yeah, that quarterback. Yeah, feed me.
You could do everything right. You could do 100% right, get open, break the DB off, be 40 yards open. If he doesn't throw you the ball, there's nothing you can do. Nothing.
Exactly.
Running backs don't have to deal with that. Yes, they do need the offensive line, but once or twice, they'll just break free and do what they do because that's what great ones do. Quarterbacks, yeah, they need the line, but we see it every week. Lamar Jackson just kind of does his own thing and runs off and, hey, breaks 25 yards. We see Kyler Murray do it. We see Dak do it every now and again.
Right.
Even Aaron Rodgers, with all the Aaron Rodgers things he does, will break you off for 12 yards.
Exactly right. But also Aaron Rodgers has a weapon, right? And Devontae Adams.
Yes.
And that's every quarterback kind of has that guy. And with the Cleveland Browns, on paper, Baker has those guys, but it's that consistency that they're looking for when, again, the Browns are finally relevant. They're finally good. And they're in the AFC North division. I think that's going to be really close this year, right? The Ravens are looking solid, but they've got some problems on that defensive front. And then the offense it's very dependent upon Lamar, right? The Pittsburgh Steelers are not the same old Pittsburgh Steelers. We're still asking how much does Big Ben have left in him? And then, of course, the Cincinnati Bengals and Joe Burrow, we saw that amazing win against the Baltimore Ravens, and lo and behold, the New York Jets with Mike White did what they did to the Cincinnati Bengals. So now we're scratching like, hey, but I thought we knew who they were, but now they got exposed. So who really are the Cincinnati Bengals? So again, this is a division that Cincinnati has to get serious about. And to me, they just have too much going on right now at the worst time that they could, because now we're starting to look at the playoff push, right? We're starting to look at Team C. Every game matters and every game counts. And I'm telling you, here in Baltimore, here in the DMV area, the AFC North division, every game from here on out is going to count when we look at those final standings.
Of course, the AFC as a conference as a whole is wide open.
Exactly.
The Chiefs are not looking like the Chiefs. My Chargers are very much looking like the good old Chargers. Like you said, the whole AFC North is up for grabs. The AFC South is, well, it's a dumpster fire, but somebody got to go.
Somebody does.
Somebody got to go. And you look at the AFC East, where the Patriots don't look bad. And you still have the Bills to go through. The Patriots have a good chance for the wild card at this point.
Exactly, to make the playoffs. You're right. And like you said, the AFC is open. And like you said before, at the beginning of the season, we thought, hey, like everybody has to like go through the Chiefs. And lo and behold, the Chiefs have not looked like the Chiefs team as of late. And how lucky, I mean, how much of a blessing. And, I hope Aaron Rodgers recovers from COVID, but to now not have Aaron Rodgers playing against you on Sunday, it's like Christmas coming early to the Kansas City Chiefs, because now they can kind of start to change their season around. And now you kind of have to take the Chiefs serious, right?
Once again. Remind me.
And it's crazy, but of all people, now, I mean, can Jordan Love get the job done? I'm not sold yet. I'm not bought yet. But without Aaron Rodgers and the injuries that they're having, it's like, dang, now the Chiefs are finally getting some things going in their favor, where once again, they're going to be a team that we have to talk about within the AFC. You talked about your Chargers, again, another solid team. So like you said, it's a wide open division, and Cleveland, again, they have to get it together. You cannot have all of this chaos when every other team is meaning serious business from here on out. And again, we're looking at playoff standings, playoff push. This is the part of the season that we're in now, folks. We're in week 9 in the National Football League. Like, you can't, everything again from here on out is serious business. And Cleveland just has too much going on. To me, just let it go. Get the cap space back. Just get rid of Odell. He doesn't want to be there. If you're trying to keep somebody there that doesn't want to be there, and time again, not just in football, but in any sport, when somebody doesn't want to be there, it just does not work, right? We're seeing the same thing happen with the Philadelphia 76ers, right? And Ben Simmons.
Good old Ben Simmons. That's a good place to stop for this point, because, ladies and gentlemen, we know how I feel about Ben Simmons. I have a recorded rant about Ben Simmons. I'm saying I'm not an NBA caliber talent by basketball by no means, but damn it, I can hit 5 out of 10 free throws. But that's another story for another day.
Look, me and you both. Put me at that free throw line, because I tell people all the time, I don't, when they pick the fans or media to come and like shoot the shots, they would never pick me, because I would have everybody winning free Chick-fil-A or free whatever they get because I'm making that shot. So I'm like you, Ben. Look, maybe Ben needs like our spirits when he gets to the free throw line to like hop in him and, help him make those free throws.
I give Ben Simmons nothing because my team is in the East. Let's go Heat. But to kind of switch gears to something that's a little more tragic than Odell's history. Henry Ruggs, as everyone who's watched the TV in the last week or so has seen the horrible mistake that he made with his intoxication manslaughter case of killing the unfortunate young woman. And now that new details have come out that his blood alcohol level was twice the legal limit, he was clocked driving at 156 miles per hour.
Yeah.
Now, don't get it wrong. It was a horrible thing that he took a person's life. But before the new details came out, I was thinking, wow, when you have no sort of intent to harm anyone, when you do, you're almost a victim yourself, to the point of, I have to live with that. I didn't mean any harm to that person. I just tried to go home and I made a horrible mistake. And I think we can all at least say that to a bare minimum. But when I heard these details that he was double the limit and driving 156 miles an hour, all I can think is, damn, Henry, I can't feel for you anymore. I hate that a 22, 23-year-old male is going to lose a good chunk of his life because of a dumb, avoidable mistake. But dog, 156?
Yeah.
Inebriated or not, there's no way that's going to end well.
There's no excuse. I mean, there's no excuse. And you're talking to somebody that worked for NASCAR. That's the only times I think I would hear that type of speeding limit, like you said. And, I think it was a tragic event, like you said, even before we heard about the other details. But at the same time, every action has a consequence, right? And there's a big thing about accountability. I understand he's young and he made a mistake. But again, there was a young life that was taken. All right. This person is no longer here. Also, a woman that was only a year older than him. Her family now lost a daughter, right? I mean, this is somebody that was a human being, and I think we have to personalize them. And I'm sorry, but in 2021, especially when you are a football player and you know the implications of your actions, you're on a bye week. It's okay to go out and have fun, but I'm sorry, there's too many things now, right on our phones even, that you can call in order if you're drinking. If you've been drinking for a long time, do not get behind the wheel. We've seen bad things happen time in and time out. I mean, many of us around the same age, we all had the DARE programs in school. We've seen many examples of this happening. And it's like, again, if you're going to go out and drink and drive, have a driver. And again, Henry Ruggs is in that sense where he can have a personal driver. I know football players here in the DMV area that have a personal driver because they like to go out on the bye weeks. They like to go out after games, right? But they have someone that's taking them home because they know they're not responsible enough to go home and they don't want to put anybody else's life in danger. And so, like you said, I mean, his life is going to be forever changed. Look, I was here in Baltimore when Ray Rice's life was forever changed from that video incident. You can't come back to that, but it's accountability. It's accountability. And I mean, Alec Baldwin's situation, I think, is another example. It's accountability, and we're going to be following what happens with that. It was unfortunate, but again, you have a young man who has finally gotten his chance to play in the National Football League, a young budding talent really beginning to just pop and explode, and I think was really going to have a promising NFL career. But it's like, again, you made a decision, had horrible consequences. By all means, I don't want this to be the end for him. But again, I mean, the justice system has to play out. You have a grieving family. And I think this situation just took us all by surprise, but I hope it's a wake-up call, and it should have been many wake-up calls to other players. But again, and not really to anybody, do not drink and drive. There's way too many things now that you can do to not have to get behind the wheel when you are not sober enough to be behind the wheel. Like you said, just thinking about 100, and then the person, I mean, when you read the details, burning up in her car during the accident, burning up alive. Like, I'm sorry, I can't, I mean, I have have nothing but sympathy for that family. I have
Absolutely.
every night put prayers up for that family. And I know I read that, he was trying to save her, but it wasn't enough. And I just think about just, how she's just trying to go home, much like him. But she never made it again. And you only have one shot at life, football, hopefully you get another chance, but at life, unfortunately, we can't come back from this. And so I think that it was just a horrible situation. I think it's a heartbreaking story all around. For him, again, it's just, I get he's young, but again, there's too many examples of not knowing why you cannot drink and drive. And especially again, when you have money to get any type of ride share or taxi, even a friend that's sober, there's no reason why you should be doing this at night. And it's just that unfortunate somebody else was on the other end of his will.
And that's another thing that gets me. Not only do we have all these Uber, Lyft, hell, you can call Uber Eats and cut one of them a deal and they'll bring you home.
Yeah.
And that leads me to another thing that a lot of NFL, a lot of pro athletes in general don't have a good experience with is who is around you? Who are your friends? Who's in your corner? Because I know for a good reason, anybody I call my friend, if it's 3 a.m. and I call them or they call me, are we going to be mad? Absolutely. Am I going to get cussed out? No question I am.
But they'll be there.
Are they going to come get me? Yes.
Yep, they'll be there.
Because they know, hey, look, I don't like it. I'm not happy about it, but I'd rather bring you home, cuss you out, and throw cold water at you than me not be able to talk to you anymore, than you leaving us. So that questions, look, you're in Vegas. There's people around you. You have teammates. There's 70 people on the NFL roster, 53 that you know of, but there's 70, 75 in total.
Right.
There's somebody you could have called. You could call your coach. He gonna make you run. He's gonna kill you in the weight room, but I bet you'd rather die in the weight room than die for real.
Exactly. Like you said, all the assistant coaches on their roster, even your quarterback, Derek Carr, a very spiritual, religious man. And a quarterback is the leader of the team, right? The guy that's supposed to always be there for you. Like you said, there has to be good people. You have to have good people around you, people that will truly be there for you. Because I think, honestly, now Henry's actually going to find out who's really there for him, right? And who wants to be in the circle, because he's going through a difficult time. And many people will come in your life when there's glory, but, when you're going through storms, who's really going to be next to you and be there for you? And again, a young man, that's something it's horrible. He's in a horrible situation, but especially when you have money, like I said, there's no excuse or reason for you to be driving in Vegas drunk. Vegas, we've all been to Vegas. Vegas has many options for people to get home because they know it's Las Vegas and people have a good time in Las Vegas. And no one's going to blame anybody for that, but it's unfortunate because now your whole career takes a turn. You put your team in a horrible situation, and the Raiders have already been going through a lot with this John Gruden situation, and now this situation on top of it. So it's like, all around, it's like it was a selfish decision, but it has consequences on so many other people, right? And it's sad all around, and it's something we have to think. And also, I think about with the Raiders, the whole Josh Jacobs situation, if you remember that one too, with the Raiders. So it's like the Raiders, it's like, dang, like they really cannot catch a break. Lots of just bad PR on bad PR on bad PR, all the while, back to our point before, trying to compete in this very competitive division, right, that they're in.
Yeah.
So many different implications. And so it's like, now your team has to rebuild, right? Somebody else is going to have to step up to the fold, but Henry, it's going to be something I just have to say, well, I'll have to just watch and see how it plays out.
When it comes to football, I know 3 absolute truths. Brown's gonna Brown, Raiders gonna Raider, Cowboys gonna Cowboy. Now, those are the 3, like death, life, and taxes. I forget the 3rd. You know what I mean? You know what we're talking about. They have enough issues, and this is only gonna add to the list to a decently competitive Raider team. They lost a close one to the Chargers. They beat the Chiefs. The Broncos are Teddy Two Gloves. No one has faith in him, but they are competitive. They potentially could have another playoff spot in this wide open conference that we call the AFC.
Exactly.
We hate that it had to come to this, but like you said, justice has to be served one way or the other. We can wish the best for him. The only good we can take out of this is we know there was no malintent. People make dumb mistakes, but just because you make a mistake doesn't mean you don't have to pay for it.
Exactly right. We've all made mistakes in life, but again, there's consequences for our action, especially when somebody else is on the other end of that. So you're right. And like I said, you put yourself in a bad situation, you put your team in a bad situation, you put your family in a bad situation, right? Because they're going to go through all of this distress with you and trying to figure out. So it's just bad again all around. And you can only think like the Raiders organization is probably just like D word because they're just like, hopefully nothing else happens, because again, they just have so much that they're trying to fight and overcome, and you're asking players to bring their best on game days, but this has to be a little black cloud over their head, like your teammate killed somebody. It's the talk of every NFL show this week, right? And that's all people are talking about. So it's like you probably want to be there for him, but also you're just like come on, like
Can I be there for this? Wasn't a regular DUI. He didn't get into a dumb bar fight. He didn't.
No,
This is, how are you there for someone who literally killed someone, even though it wasn't on purpose?
literally.
But yes, he took a life, and that's an internal issue that the Raiders, as well as Henry Ruggs and whoever he prays to at night, will have to deal with.
It's true. It's true again. So all we can do is see how it plays out. And I do hope the family, gets justice. They don't get the daughter back. They don't get their young soul back. She's taken from our earth and our world, and all we have is the memories to relinquish him. But it's just bad all around, especially when you get that phone call in the middle of the night that your loved one has perished and was killed by somebody else who shouldn't have been doing what they were doing.
Which nobody ever wants to get. But
No.
we'll move on to something a little less morbid, because we want y'all to smile a little bit. We love to laugh here. Kelsey has a great smile that we're going to show and then immediately take away, because here on D1 Ignite University, we love to play games and we love to have a little fun. So one of the recent games I've come up with, inspired by the world phenomenon that is Squid Games.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Ignite Squid Games. I do not have a mask to put on. I used to have a hat. I can't find my hat right now. That's beside the point. So, to explain the rules of the Ignite Squid Games, it is fair 100% of the time. Y'all don't always think it is, but I am. So, we allowed Kelsey to pick of her choosing. Do you want to finalize the artist you told me?
Oh my gosh, so hard. So a disclaimer to everyone out there, my life has been fully sports, so I've been out the music world. I'm going to have to go back for my artist. And you know what, I think, this is so scary. All right, so I wanted to pick Beyonce, but you told me I couldn't pick Beyonce. So I think I'm going to do Monica. I'm going to do my girl Monica, and hopefully I make Monica proud.
Okay, she chose Monica. So the rule of the Ignite Squid Game is I allowed the contestants to pick whatever artist. I let them know beforehand. Pick one that you know very well. But I get to pick the song.
Oh my gosh.
So the rules of it, she has to give me 8 or so bars of the song. And if she can't get it right, pop, she dies, she loses the Squid Game. Are you ready?
Red light, green light.
Are we forgetting the end result to red light, green light too?
I would have been the person that made it through. I'm just saying, if I was at Squid Games.
And
the girl used to play a mean red light, green light back in the day at the Boys and Girls Club. I'm just saying.
Oh. Boys and Girls Club of America. Great.
Boys
great
and Girls
memory.
Club kid.
So let's start. I'll start you off pretty easy, hopefully. Maybe.
My fingers crossed.
You should. So we'll start you off with The Boy Is Mine.
Okay. Ooh, okay. Let me see.
And if you need the chorus to kind of get you in order, you're more than welcome to sing the chorus, but it just does not count to your total.
Oh my gosh. This is okay. So I can pick up any bars?
It does not have to be in order of any kind.
Oh my gosh. You would pick a song where there's the two parts. I got to go through Brandy and Monica's part in my head.
That's not my problem.
Intro. Excuse me. Can I please talk to you a minute? Oh my gosh. Okay, The Boy Is Mine. I can do the chorus, right?
Yeah, you can sing the chorus all you want. It just does not go to your total.
Some full disclosure, my sister is a singer. I'm the talker. We get paid to do two different things.
You know, you can talk, sing. It doesn't have to be full out.
I'm like, had about enough. It's not hard to see the boy is mine. I'm sorry that you seem to be confused. He belongs to me. The boy is mine. Think it's time you got this straight. I think this is my next part. Send your talk face to face, because there is no way you could mistake. Hopefully I'm on the right track. So I know that you may be just a bit jealous of me. It's 8 bars. But you're blind if you can't see that his love is all I need. I feel like I'm just gonna get shot in Squid Games and come back with the doppelganger.
I'll give you that one. You got it. Doesn't have to be exactly 8 bars.
I cannot sing at all. I need to be in the shower, so I have like some acoustics or something.
And you know what? We're podcast people. If we need to do some audio magic, I can do that.
Just imagine I sounded just like Monica to everyone listening. All right.
Okay. And I'll even let you off the hook for the second one, just because I like watching you struggle. So
I'm like, this is hard.
Yes, it is. I never said it was easy. So let me get so gone.
Oh my gosh, I haven't heard this song oh my gosh, I haven't heard this song in forever. So how do I die? How are you killing us?
Hey, look, I am not a mean-spirited person. You get one to the temple real quick.
I'm trying to honestly play it back in my head. See, I needed practice before this. I would have did like a whole R&B party before I got on this.
Look, I'll even help you out some.
All right, I'll take the hint.
Oh, it's not a verbal hint, but it's something that I know helps people out.
Okay. Because I have that beat in my head. I might have lost my mind. Oh my gosh, she would pick one I haven't heard in forever. You make me feel. I'm just so gone. I'm just so embarrassed. You know, I need to be so gone from this game because I'm horrible at it. And you know what? A good person knows what they're not good at. All right.
You're absolutely
right. I'm killed. I'm shot. Squid Games. And honestly, I wouldn't have won the real Squid Games anyways. So.
Sad. The sad truth. But you know what? The truth nonetheless.
I'm sad, but you know what? This is why I stick to sports.
You know what? It's good to know what you're good at.
It's a true talent and skill to know what you're good at, and you exploit that, and you get even better at it.
It is. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of another promo for the D180 University's 100th episode. Kelsey, do you have any final thoughts to the people?
Sorry, Monica. I hope you still love me. I will still be coming to see you in concert. And when I sing with everybody else, I will sound much better with the chorus of people. But this was so much fun. Continuing to watch what goes down in the NFL this week. We've got Aaron Rodgers, who is immunized but not vaccinated. Learn the importance of words, folks. And that will do it for me. Hope everyone checks out my podcast, listen in with K&N, and check out my shows on the Draft Network. So yeah, follow me on social media. The Real K Nelson, lots of NFL, NBA content, and so much more. Thanks again so much for having me.
Hey, you are more than welcome to come on anytime, because you're definitely more talented than me at this talking thing, and I thought I was decent at it. But hey, you live and you learn. And like I said between my last episode, that's why I only hang out with people who are better than me, because that's how I get better. So, ladies and gentlemen, like I love to say at the end of every episode, keep learning, keep living, keep loving. Check out for that. Be on the lookout for that 100th episode. And we out.
Bye.
All right.